Hey guys, welcome back to Giving Unbothered, the podcast.
We've got a very full bed. These are my babies. This is Bear.
And this is Bo.
That's Yelka's favourite.
That's not true.
You favouritize him so much.
I do not.
He is the love of my life, so it's okay.
Also, let me just say, this is probably the first and last time you'll see me wearing something colourful.
Yeah, she brings this top to like the surface every time we film, and I'm like, is today going to be the day? It never is, but today was the day.
Today is the day, because I thought it kind of goes in line with what we're talking about.
I was going to say the love theme, the heartbreak thing.
Yeah,
is
heartbreaks.
What we're going with.
I mean, I feel like my top is a bit more positive than heartbreaks, because red is a colour of love.
But we're talking about the positive ways. Passion. We're talking about the positive ways to deal with heartbreak.
Oh, I wasn't sure if we were all talking about positive.
Or the negative ways to deal with it, like Yelka apparently does.
No, I also wanted to stay realistic.
Sorry, whenever I'm realistic, you're like, you're such a pessimist. And then now I'm saying about, okay, whatever.
No, they're quite
Switching
positive,
up.
aside from like a few, because I feel like you're allowed to do a few things.
There's some leeway to be a bit, I was going to say psychotic, but I feel like yours isn't going to be psychotic, is it? Yours is going to be like delusional. Mine is psychotic.
How can you be delusional about a heartbreak?
Because you'd be on TikTok like, the tarot card reader does say that they're actually in love with me and they just don't know it yet.
I have been back on it on tarot card, TikTok, whatever it's called.
You need to stop engaging with them.
I can't.
I know that every time one pops up, you're like, yep, share, like, heart, save, like, just so they keep popping up. And I'm like, you know what? You do it to yourself.
That's the thing. Like, I never really watch a TikTok, like, to the end, unless it's a tarot. And it's like, oh, yeah, I relate to that. Oh, yeah. Why are you looking at me like that? I feel like something. What?
I'm just judging. No, there's nothing. I've got nothing to say. I'm just judging.
Okay, fine.
Well, in that case, we can just start off. I feel like I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, wow, that's new.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I feel also as well.
Oh, hello.
Just dropped my phone. We haven't, like, we went through a heartbreak last year. Yeah, that was last year.
It was last year.
Yeah, almost a year. And we haven't since. And I feel like we're in a good space to talk about it now.
Yeah, we can reflect on it without crying. And we can now talk about it in a positive way.
Okay, I think this is a big one. Yeah. And I know you haven't done this, I haven't done this, but I feel like a lot of people do this. And it's more because I've experienced talking. Anyway, don't go on dating apps straight away after your breakup. Like, a lot of people do that because they're like, oh, I need to be distracted and all of that. And no, you don't have to be distracted by including another person, because then you're gonna hurt another person, probably. And it's just, why would you do that? You're not healed. Sorry, don't go on dating apps if you're not healed.
No. I feel like a lot of people that aren't healed that are on. That's why I just don't like them anymore, because I know these fuckers aren't healed anyway, and they're obsessed with someone else.
And actually, I had to think of remember you matched with someone one time, and then
they were talking about their ex.
Yeah. And I'm like, see, that's the thing. If you're gonna go on dating apps and then all you can talk about is your ex, red flag.
Yeah, please don't fill my time. And especially with Hinge now, you can only have seven matches, 7 or 8, and then like you can't. I don't know why I'm saying that's really like a cap, because I don't even match with 7 or 8 people.
I just think like, if you're not healed and all you can talk about is your ex and that's all you bring to the table, why would you want to involve yourself into something new with someone else? And also, that's only extending the heartbreak, let's be honest, because you might think that you're healed or ready or whatever, and then if that doesn't work out, then you're dealing with what you haven't healed from yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does, because we both know that I'm guilty of that. Like, I broke up with someone and then went literally virtually in a few weeks with someone else. And then that happened a few times. If you've watched the other episodes, we know this. And then at the end of it, I was like, fuck, like, I actually haven't got over both of these people, and I'm grieving 2 people at once.
So the lesson out of this is you can't outrun your feelings. You know? Yeah. So if you think that's a way for you to deal with not having to feel the breakup, there is no way of doing that. So go through it. Sit through the emotions. Cry.
Yeah.
Cry.
You know what? You actually can't beat like a big, fat, ugly cry. Like you can't beat
Put on
it.
Kelly Clarkson. Wait, what song is that? No, wait, there is a song from Kelly Clarkson. Anyway, that was my first point. Sit through the emotions. Don't go on dating apps. Don't involve anyone else in your heartbreak.
Listen to Kelly Clarkson. Did you see Kelly Clarkson and what's Bette Porter's real name?
Jennifer Beals.
Yeah, them on the show. Like
yeah,
show.
because of her book.
Yeah, and Kelly Clarkson was having like major gay panic.
Well, because I remember Jennifer Beals, she said, I had to ask this question from someone she knew, being like, what was it? Was it a question of like, would you do it with a woman? Or like, I don't know, it was something like that. But I want to get Jennifer's book.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Should we split and share?
Yeah, but then I want to get So Gay for You as well, which is coming out next month.
We can share both.
Yeah. We're doing that.
We can parent books. How much are we now going to parent 2 books? Perfect. I feel like one of my biggest ones, and I have never followed this myself, but
Wait, why would you give this as advice?
No, because it's
knowing full well.
Because I'm stupid and I've never taken the good advice. But I feel like now I would. Like now
Would you?
Next, pending heartbreak, we'll put it to the test. Please don't break my heart. Delete their number. It's one thing for... I don't know, that was so rogue. Huh? You're like, I would never...
No. I kept my location on with my ex for months after.
Babe, it was nearly a year you kept the location.
No, it wasn't a year.
No, it was like 6 months. Half a year.
No, it was like 3.
Even so, it's fucking crazy. Anyway, moving on from that shenanigans. Taking people off socials and things, like, everyone's done it. Like, you can take them off socials, you can still fucking search up their name and look at their social
Unless
media.
you block them.
Yeah, but you can unblock them.
Yeah, but then
I've done that, and I feel like everyone else has done that. Like, I know my exes have blocked me, unblocked me, blocked me, unblocked me. Like, their names pop up and they disappear, and I'm like, make up your fucking mind. Like, if you're gonna do it, do it.
Commit to it.
But with numbers, if you delete their number, because we're in a century where no one knows numbers. You know, like in the olden days, people would remember people's mobile numbers.
Oh yeah.
But, I don't know anyone's mobile. If I deleted your number off my phone, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, if you were to call me with just your number visible, I'd be like,
you wouldn't know who it is. So delete their number. You've no longer got it anywhere. WhatsApp, contacts, everything. Delete.
Watch people do this though, but then like write their number down on a paper and like hide it somewhere. You've done.
No.
Guilty.
I was thinking. I was like,
or put it in your notes somewhere and just be like, in case, just in case.
Yeah, you know what? This is good advice, but I don't think anyone truly has the willpower to.
It's hard
to do it, because like if I was to do that, I'd probably make a little note of their number as well.
Okay, actually linking on to that, because I feel like it's very much connected. Going into no contact, I actually didn't write this down, but I feel like once it's over, no contact.
Yeah,
because as long as you keep talking, no matter what you say, like I get it. It's hard to cut things off, especially if you've been together for like a while.
Yeah.
But also it just doesn't help the case. Let's be honest. It doesn't. It only, again, you're extending the heartbreak, like having to feel everything that comes with a heartbreak. And when you go no contact, that's where you can shift the focus on you. And if you're still talking, you're still like, they still take space up in your mind.
It's still mental capacity that you don't need to be spending on someone.
No.
Spending on someone? You know what I mean. But
wasting.
That's it. Wasting on someone. Because where's that going to go? Like, literally, if you know you're not going to get back together, or it's not healthy to get back together, what's the point? And like, I've done it. I feel like you've probably done it. Have you not done that before? Okay, yeah, because I Healthy Queen. I've definitely done it.
I don't know.
I actually don't know if you have, because
No.
I'm thinking of your past relationships, and I don't think you have.
I haven't.
She holds on to talking stages for too long, but once they're done, they're done. She's like, no, they're not done. I was really trying to back you up for once there, and you just...
No, I think that's the thing with me, though. Like, when it comes to heartbreaks, I don't stay friends with my exes, and I always make this really clear. I'm like, if you decide to break up with me, that's it. Like, you're out of my life. Does that make sense? What are you saying? Why are you laughing?
I'm
Wait. Hello? Hello? Wait, hello?
I'm laughing.
She's crying laughing. That means I said something really fucking stupid. What?
I'm laughing because you say that.
Oh.
No. But I do recall that someone broke up with you, and when they were next in your city, you asked to get a coffee with them.
No.
I was upset when they didn't.
I wasn't upset that they didn't. It was because for closure, and also because what was being said during the breakup, and it was a FaceTime breakup.
So you wouldn't have done that coffee to potentially discuss staying together?
No, I can tell you that. No.
Okay.
It was just for closure, to be able to say my part, because I didn't get to say my part fully in the breakup.
Do you think closure is necessary?
Not always.
Okay.
I think closure for yourself is necessary, like finding a way for yourself to find that closure, but it isn't necessarily that you have to meet up and have to have the talk. Sometimes, like, it's just like you need to find something for yourself that gives you closure. But then I've been in, that was completely different. And, okay, therapy talk. Let's bring it on. No, this is actually really good. We love therapy. I was in a relationship once, narcissistic relationship. So that's unhealthy, toxic in a lot of ways. And in that relationship, I didn't get any closure because I had to physically run away to save myself. I went into therapy afterwards, and I was really struggling with like finding the closure because I never got to say to this person what they did to me and how hurtful that was. And my therapist said, I feel like this is one of the big things that a lot of people already do, is like writing a letter to them, but then like burning it.
That was on my list.
Like not actually sending it, but like write it as if you're going to send it to them. Try that, it didn't help. Then something else. Try that, but it's such a big mindfuck. Is put a chair in front of you, so you sit on a chair. Put a chair in front of you, and then. This sounds almost psycho. Imagine them sitting on that chair and just like let it all out. But with like the right feelings behind, not just sitting there and be like, oh, I think I should do this because like actually feeling the feelings of the things you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think, closure, it's necessary for yourself to find it in some ways.
Okay.
I think to come to peace with.
I think it comes in like different shapes and sizes, doesn't it? Closure.
Yeah, it means something else to everyone. So as long as it's something that works for you, that's good.
Before I get into my petty points of things to do.
I love how you found that so funny yourself. Before I get into my petty points, hee.
It's literally like a tee. When you're in a relationship, I feel like even when I was just seeing someone, I had a list of foods they wanted to try and restaurants they wanted to go to. No, I know. Ew.
No, wait, it's not you. It's cute.
You were looking at me like, ew.
No, because it's something that I would do as well.
Lover girls.
Yeah, lover girls.
And
it's healthy.
Like, music they like literally anything that they kind of liked or I wanted to do with them, or things that I was like, oh, this could come in handy, like if it was their birthday. And do you know what I mean?
I'm not saying anything.
Disgusting.
I'm agreeing. No, I think it's cute. See? No, Alana, own it.
No, I don't like it.
Own it being a lover girl.
Anyway. So I did that. And
okay.
And I was just like, I don't do that for myself. Like, if there were like restaurants that I really want to go to or foods that I really, really want to try, would I like take myself to these restaurants or like get the stuff to make this food that I really, really want to try? Or would I buy myself those flowers? No, like I've never done that.
We always wait to do it for like to be able, not to be able, but like to do it for someone else.
Yeah, and it's like, why do you not give yourself? Because like you're literally stuck with yourself. Like when you're not with your friends, with a partner, with your family, you are literally sat with yourself. And I think that's why people, and I can only speak for myself, but I think that's why I got so mentally low at one point, because I genuinely wasn't doing anything for myself.
I think it's because a lot of people struggle with being by themselves and being alone, because that's when you hear all the noise in your life.
But I think that's just like because you're so used to giving love and focusing on making other people happy for a lot more, like I said, for myself, that I think after breakups, you don't know where to put the love. And like, I think that a lot of my relationships, like by the time it ended, wasn't happy. I didn't love them like that. I didn't want to be with them. But then I still found myself like I was really missing something. And I think it wasn't that I was missing the person. I was missing being able to put my emotions into something else.
I think it's also, it depends from like person to person, but you're like a very caring, giving person. What I wanted to say to follow up on that, and that's actually one of my points as well, is like put that in yourself.
Yeah.
Like everything you would do for another person, like you say, take yourself out to that dinner.
Yeah, invest your energy in yourself.
Yeah, do that travel yourself. And with that comes a point that links into that great, is find a new hobby.
That was one of mine as well.
Oh, I literally, my last heartbreak, I started painting.
Oh my God, then she made me start painting.
So just get yourself, like, find a new hobby, find a new interest, dive into that to shift your focus away. And it needs to be like a healthy something. Get a gym membership, go to a Pilates class, start painting, start going for walks.
Walks?
Very
good.
I do think at least include something where you're like moving your body, because that is good.
That is good.
And if we go very spiritual, do you know this? I feel like
not.
No, I actually feel like you might do. So your body, obviously, your body knows everything. Even if you try to run away from your feelings, even if you're like not crying, but you're crying on the inside, your body feels it. Your body gets sick. You know, like it eventually will show. But your body also holds your emotions in like certain places in your body.
Is that to do with like the chakras and stuff?
No, it's not chakras.
Oh, because I thought there's like the videos and they like put their hands over like each chakra and their emotions like spew out.
They just come out. Breath work, movements, yoga, meditation, highly recommend. Journaling as well.
Spiritual queen.
I love it. It keeps me grounded. So, and it helps me through heartbreaks.
I don't think it always helps you grounded. I've seen you with tarot card readings, Miss Yelka, and that keeps you very much ungrounded. Your feet are off the floor. You're levitating.
I mean, even my psychic told me that I need to ground myself.
Oh my God, I'm pissing myself. You've
already told this story in the podcast.
No, I know, but I found the video the other day of you were trying to tell me about the tarot woman, and like, even though I already heard it, and I just couldn't stop crying. Like, I couldn't stop crying. She was like, you know what, I'm not going to speak to you about it anymore because you're not taking it seriously. And I was like, no, I am. You're in that. And I had tears like streaming. Like, I couldn't stop. I felt really bad. I felt super bad. But
no, you don't feel bad.
I did. I felt bad that I couldn't keep composure to listen to the bullshit that was spewed out your mouth. But I couldn't.
We're just... on that level, we're completely different.
No.
I have my third eye open. You have your third eye closed.
You know what? If that is the thought process you want, that's fine. No, I believe in some psychics, or maybe not psychics as much. I don't know. I believe in that stuff. But the shit this woman was saying could literally be applied to my uncle's neighbour's dog.
That's not true.
It's so true.
No.
Moving on.
Yeah. I finished my point.
Good. I'm moving on to my point.
I actually feel like, sorry guys, this is... We went from heartbreaks to psychics. But you know what? Actually, that is something a lot of people do. And I support. Go to a psychic after your breakup.
I don't support that whatsoever.
I support.
Okay, one thing I'll say on psychics is you should not go to one unless you are fully happy with your life. And after a breakup, if you're feeling upset, you're not fully happy with your life. So you're either going to, one, which I think a lot of people do, is twist.
Why did you look at me for that?
I'm not looking directly into the lens. Is they twist whatever the psychic is saying to suit what they want. Like, it's so easy because they're so vague. So, like, if you're really upset and you want them back, anything they say, you're going to be like, that, I'm going to get back with them. That's what they're saying. Or if you're so unhappy you're going to have her answers and she doesn't give you the answers that you want, then you're even more depressed. So I just think it's a lose-lose situation. Okay, so this isn't so much a serious, healthy thing to do. However, it helped me a lot and I think it was really therapeutic. If you're with your friends, people are going to be like putting two and two together now.
Oh boy.
Do you know, you just get those really fucking like fucked up weird newsletters and stuff you get like over your emails and to your addresses and stuff.
Yeah.
Just send so much shit to their house. Like,
wait, how does that help with the heartbreak? How does
it it doesn't help with the heartbreak. But
so wait. Rewind. I thought we were speaking about healthy ways.
Did I say healthy?
You literally opened the episode. You were like, and I went like, I didn't know.
It made me feel better. So there must be some healthiness. Just like, I feel like it's just so funny. Just send them like such stupid shit. Send them stuff they don't agree with. Like, do you know the things that you know that just really grind their gears? Cut up photos you have of them. Burn shit. Like that.
Ooh.
Oh my God. I remember me and one of my friends, I was like 17. And it was my ex-boyfriend, my one and only boyfriend. And I had so many of his like, just like random shit. And we went to her house and we burned it all in the garden. And you know what? It felt good.
I did that with my first love as well. I had a painting of us. And
You've told me this. You set it on fire.
Yeah, with my sister in the garden.
It's a good feeling. It's so petty, but you know what? Sometimes petty feels good. I'll say it, and I'll say it again.
I don't think it's petty. I think it's releasing emotions.
Oh, well, I did it for sure, being petty. You know what? It felt good.
I was trying to find like the healthiness. But sometimes being petty is good.
Yeah.
And
if you're not causing any direct damage, like, it's just a newsletter.
yeah,
you know?
don't like damage personal property or like personal, like a car or like stuff like that, their house, or don't do shit like that. Oh, never.
Yeah, no.
Alana obviously thinks very different about that.
No, don't be doing that.
Wink.
Well, wink.
I'll tell you, don't do that.
Well.
You don't want to go to court for like, what is it called? Personal property.
Yeah, like damaging
yeah.
people's personal property.
We don't want that. We don't want you to end up in jail.
No.
Okay, so while we say in like being petty,
Yeah.
allow yourself to do absolutely nothing as well. Like, allow yourself to sit in your, what is it, wallow
in self-pity.
Yeah, allow yourself to do that. Maybe give it like 2 weeks max. I think that's a good time. 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think people put a lot of pressure on other people or like on yourself to like get out of bed, like stop wallowing. What is wrong with a little wallow?
Oh, it's the best feeling.
I would say it's the best feeling. It's still quite shitty. But...
It's shitty, but I do feel like it's way better. Oh, okay, let me explain. Last heartbreak, I had a job the day after, and I sat in that studio crying my eyes out.
I felt so bad for you.
It was horrible. It was so bad. Luckily, it was a hand modeling job, so my face wasn't in the photos. But I literally sat there. I couldn't like hold back my tears. That like having to try to keep it together is so much worse than sitting in your room watching a sad love movie, whatever, and just cry it out. Have a like ice cream, whatever, big bowl of pasta. That's so much nicer. Even though it's still painful, it's still nicer than like having to pretend you're okay and keeping it together.
Yeah, like literally just fully accepting that you feel like shit, you look like shit.
I would say like give yourself a deadline, like a maximum time you're allowed to do that, because it's very easy to stay in that. At some point, at some point you need to be like, okay, now I'm gonna take control over my life again and my feelings.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop being a bum.
Yeah, and gonna get my shit together.
Yeah, and also don't like lose your surroundings. Like, I know that when I'm really, really sad, I know I don't really want to talk to anyone, don't want to text, don't want to call, don't want to see people.
Yeah.
But then like you need your friends.
To sum it up, cry yourself to sleep in bed for 2 weeks max. Maybe 1 week.
I feel like maybe a week and a half.
Okay.
2 weeks if you're really
week and a half.
it.
Yeah. It's healthy.
I feel like now though, that, and I know this is a very worldwide thing, so you can't deny it. Sometimes situationships ending are so much worse than relationships.
Tell me about it.
Like,
I am struggling
I was
more.
low-key, like looking at you through my eyes.
I knew you were. I am struggling more with that. I think, you know why? With a breakup, like breaking up from a relationship, something must have happened that it's a break. Well, actually, not always, but like in a way, you find more of like the. You've tried it. You've had the relationship.
Yes.
With the situation ship.
With the situation ship.
You haven't had that yet, so it's like it hasn't even begun yet. You know, you're grieving something.
Yeah, you haven't even like experienced the potential of it.
Yeah.
So it's like
you're still thinking, making up scenarios in your head, which is my favorite thing to do.
People have such commitment issues now that I feel like I've actually probably been through more ups and downs in situationships than I have in relationships. Like, situationships, I'm going to put this in big, bold, black letters. Situationship. You know what? No, because otherwise it wouldn't be a situationship. Talking stages, dating people, getting to know someone should not be a stressful, up and down tornado experience. If it is, it's not working because you're not even together. Like that's not supposed to be like you're supposed to get with each other in a proper relationship because that's went so well. If you're having these ups and downs and you're viewing it as a situationship, run away.
That's like the time where, you know, you're getting to know each other and you're figuring out, do we communicate the same way, or like, do I like this about you, do I not like this about you? And everyone has their own decision to make whether they want to continue that or not.
Yeah, like liking someone isn't enough.
No.
I think people in like the whole talking, getting to know each other vibe, people are just like, I really like them, so I'm going to stick with it. And it's like, no, this is the trial phase. That this is the time where you can be like, no, don't want that. Moving on to the next. This one really icks me out, and I think that you'll get this as well. You know when someone's going through a breakup because they start posting so much rubbish on their stories.
Yeah.
Or like posting music with like heartfelt lyrics or something that's clearly like, because like you can see it. Like I follow some people that have never posted, and suddenly they're posting like fucking everything, like a photo of their shoe or the sun or a coffee, and I'm like, you're posting 20 times a day, chucking a few songs in there, and I'm just like, no, stop it. Like deal with that internally. Like I don't, it weirds me out because I'm also like, and then you can see that like clearly the target audience that they wanted haven't replied to it, because then 2 hours later it's deleted. And it's like, yeah, they've seen it, not replied, and now it's being put in the bin. I'm just like, save yourself. That like, and it's obvious. I did this when I was younger, for sure. Like, not since I've grown up and realised that it's silly. But I think when I was younger, I used to do it because I would want them to be like, oh, they're out, they're fine, like they're getting that coffee, they're watching that sunrise, like,
to prove you're doing well,
I'm doing things. But then like I've also then I think this is then when I stopped doing that, is because then when someone else started doing that I broke up with, I was like, it is so obvious that you're doing that for the sake of me seeing it. So then after that I was like, oh my god, it was like a whole realization that is actually very fucking obvious.
It's weird, isn't it, that like now with a breakup you just go like, oh, how can I still get their attention on social? Or like social media became such a big part in a breakup in a weird way.
I think it used to be a lot easier to deal with breakups, like say when our like parents were younger, because it was that then you didn't see them. Anyway, yeah, please don't be daft, and please stop posting pictures of your coffee after a breakup because no one cares.
My next point, I feel like you're gonna laugh because this is very typical of me. It's not something that Alana does, or I don't imagine you doing. But it makes the biggest difference to me for my mental health during a heartbreak. Do you have any guesses?
Journaling?
No, but I mentioned that earlier already.
Wait. So it's you do. So you do this healthy or not healthy?
I mean,
because you said I don't do it.
No.
So is it so you do fitness?
It. No.
Oh, love her. Love how that's my brain goes. I don't know.
Keep your space clean.
Bitch.
No, come on, you can't deny that, like, having a space clean. No, we're literally sitting here talking about the space clean. When I say at Alana's place, take a photo of your mess in your room.
Insert it. I'm gonna. This is literally everyone has that chair. Well, Miss Yelka doesn't. The chair or stool or corner of your room that's literally the fucking like Bermuda Triangle, and you just like shove everything in there and it, like on it, and it just goes missing. It is building its way up right now.
I need a clean space. I need it tidy. It brings me peace mentally. When I go through a heartbreak, I don't want to get stressed out more by clutter all around me. You know how I am.
I get that.
Even when I'm not going through a heartbreak, I'm already like...
Yeah, you clean when you're stressed. I am going to come in for my defense slightly.
Go for it.
I don't like clutter. I don't like it.
True.
However, I do get very easily overwhelmed. You know what? It's gone too far now, so I'm just going to keep building that stuck up until I want to cry.
And that's why I try to stay on top of it. But I just think when you go through a heartbreak, you're already dealing with so many feelings internally and emotions.
Yeah.
That if you're in a clean space, it just helps you to relax a bit more.
Clear space, clear mind.
Exactly.
It is true though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like your space is a reflection of the inside of your little mental area. So.
Exactly. So keep your space clean and tidy.
I feel like we might have slightly touched on this maybe a little bit earlier. I've been very guilty of this, and I think it's only maybe my last heartbreak that I've managed to do it, and I think that's just because we ended for quite a big reason. But when you're in a bad relationship or a relationship when you're not very happy, when you're in it, I feel like the bad can really overpower the good.
Yeah.
As it should, because I do think there should obviously always be more good than bad. And when it's bad things, like if something really bad happens, that's what you tell to your friends. You don't message them and be like, oh my God, like this is what they've done, like so sweet today. But if you have an argument, you're telling all your friends, which I think is fine. But like the bad genuinely does overpower the good. Like naturally, I feel like that's how it is in a relationship. So then you leave them. And obviously the bad things were enough for you to leave. So clearly we're that bad. And then I think when you go through the whole breakup phase and you start missing them or missing the company, suddenly you forget the bad things.
Start reminiscing.
And you start thinking like, yeah, but they did that for me. And like, yeah, but they used to cook me dinner. Or like, yeah, they used to buy me this. And it's like, suddenly all the bad shit doesn't matter anymore. And you're thinking of all the good things. And I think that that's such an unhealthy place to be in, or like an unhealthy mindset, because you're competing with your own thoughts and your memory. Like you're choosing not to remember things.
I know, but I think in that case, what's really happening is your heart is fighting with your minds.
I think what I mean though, like you're fighting with yourself,
and that's a heartbreak. You're constantly fighting yourself.
But this is why, and this kind of gets linked to when we said like writing a letter or journaling or things. Right, even if it's on your note page, I'm not a massive journaler. Like, I am too lazy to go and get a pen and paper and actually start jotting stuff down. I can't remember the last time I actually wrote something on a paper. I don't remember. So on my notes page, I would literally write everything they've done, the reasons I didn't want to be with them, the reasons they made me unhappy, the really embarrassing shit that like I didn't tell my friends or family until we ended, because I know if I told them like in the relationship, there would be no escaping that.
Yeah.
And I think then you just go back on that when you're being stupid and delusional and thinking of the good times, because then you go back, which I've done many a times, and it's a cycle again. And then after a certain amount of time, you actually can't expect people to feel sorry for you, because you're doing it to yourself.
True. And actually, following up on that, something like a little exercise to do with like when it comes down to like writing, you can even do this on your laptop or your phone, but I've done this before for a situationship. Has it helped? I told you about this when I did it. You write down what makes you upset or like sad about losing this connection with this person, what you valued in them, and then twist it to like how you can show up for yourself in that way. Because we've had this conversation so many times as well. You were the one saying this to me, when you're like attracted to someone, and this goes like when you're like going through a heartbreak, you obviously still think, well, unless they like cheat or like do something really bad, but you still have like these, on certain levels you still put them on like a pedestal, you know, about like certain aspects of like characteristics they have or things they do. I want to say it how you said, I can't remember how you said, but it was something of like a mirror. Is it like you find those things attractive in them because that's what you lack?
Oh, yeah. When you're interested in someone, do you like those traits and qualities? Or is it just like, okay, I feel like I'm not going to be able to explain it in the best way.
You were doing so well.
I was dating someone and they were really like obsessed with me. And I don't know why, in regards to, like, obviously I know why, but but like it was such a short amount of time, they like it didn't make sense for them to be as they were with me. And we were very different people, and I think because they liked the traits in me that they wanted in themselves. Like I was a very outspoken, confident, social person, whereas they were kind of the complete opposite. And I think they kind of spent time with me to kind of feed off of that. And I think that was similar to you, because I was like, do you like them, or do you just like certain qualities they possess because you kind of want that in yourself, you as well?
Yeah. So then if you do realize that, write it on paper and then see how you can give that to yourself. Like, actually write out things of like, I can do this that will embrace that.
My final point is maybe only for specific people because it's not really the same for everyone, but I have been for the past like 5 years in a very gay friendship group. Everyone's exes knows everyone else's exes. And I think if you have mutual friends, because like one of my exes was in the group at the time, and obviously all my friends were their friends, and I would try so hard to not try and speak about it or use mutual friends to get information about the breakup, because one, not healthy. It's not normal. In a normal situation, I don't think your relationship should be part of the same friendship group. If you don't start off that way, I don't think it's healthy. Like, be friends with your friends.
Yeah.
But I think it's so important to have two separate groups. Like, then when you break up, you don't spend time with their friends. You don't spend, you know what I mean? And it's separate. And I think it's very important to not use mutual friends as a way of making someone jealous or find out information. Because I just think that, like, you're literally delaying your own
heartbreak.
Healing process.
But also, with that, you're involving people in your relationship or heartbreak, but it's still like, in your relationship with this other person, which you shouldn't be doing. Because it should be between you and the other person.
Yeah.
You shouldn't involve friends. I find that so nasty to do if you involve your friends.
It's emotionally taxing on everyone involved.
Yeah, but it's also just like, why involve your friends in that way? Because then you're putting them on some kind of like, not a pedestal, but like you're putting them on something.
They're in a hard spot.
Yeah. Hopefully you got to take something away from this episode, and actually hopefully you're not going through a heartbreak, because it's not fun. But if you are, you got this. Alana doesn't think so, but I think you got this.
I've got no other advice. I'm run dry.
I believe in you. You got this, and you'll get through it. That's
soft parenting.
It's not soft parenting, but when you final thing on heartbreaks. When you go through a heartbreak, you're like, I'm never gonna get out of this. I'll feel like this for the rest of my life.
I'm never gonna find anyone like them.
Yeah.
Babe, they were a munter. They weren't that special. I don't want them. Yelka doesn't want them. No one else wants them. So you don't fucking want them either.
And you'll get through it eventually, and you'll get back to yourself. Okay.
Well, that's it for this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I'm not really that sorry. But come back next week.
If you enjoyed watching or listening, don't forget to rate our show, and please follow or subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.